It's morning, and I slept the night away. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's me, the BBK, and welcome back to the boss's bedroom. Oof. I'm not feeling too well. I'm not even sure if I'm live or not, but I just figured I'd come over here and just chill for a little bit. Stomach is tore up, and I'm gonna blame that stupid Popeyes and they coleslaw. The chicken, I ain't gonna blame the chicken. I don't think there was nothing wrong with the chicken. The chicken was quite fresh. I was very proud about the chicken. But the damn coleslaw, oh baby, got me tore up. I've been tore up for about 2 days. But yesterday I did feel good when I went out. I went out to this new restaurant. Well, it's not a new restaurant. It's new to me, called Destination. And I had what they call their shaken beef noodles, garlic noodles. And it's the noodles with the heavy garlic seasoning, and I'm not sure what was sprinkled on top. I almost think it was like bacon bits, but I could be wrong. And it had onions and bell peppers and beef, and it was really, really good. I've had the shaken noodles. I thought they were actually called drunken noodles, but I've had the shaken noodles before from a restaurant around the corner from my house. But the noodles the noodles aren't seasoned like they were at Destination. It just seemed like they made some noodles and, added them to the plate with the beef and everything. It was really good, but Destination was better because their noodles were literally seasoned in the garlic. Oh. So this morning I want to speak on grudges. Holding grudges. I heard somebody say they hold a grudge. And I know for Sagittariuses, we tend to hold a grudge as well. We don't run around and yell it from the rooftops, but for the most part, we hold a grudge with no problem. For me, holding a grudge comes into play when you've done something messed up to me, and it's one thing to be snakish to somebody, but it's a different thing when, I come to you or approach you and ask you about it, or try to, get some understanding about it, or even work it out for that matter, and you just lie in my face. I think we forget as kids, we are, well, for the most part, as kids, we are raised to be fake. Hey, Camille. Hey, baby. Good morning. Happy Sunday. We're raised to be fake, what I consider to be fake. And it's really, we're raised to be politically correct. We're raised to not be evil or mischievous to people, to just try to be respectful to people. And if you don't like them, you ain't got to say nothing. You just go on the way, go on about your business. But as we get older, that adult level or maturity or lack of maturity level won't let us always do things as we did as kids. For instance, for me, if we have some type of a relationship or a friendship and I care about you, then I'm gonna ask you, hey, are we good? Did I do something to offend you? Are you upset with me? That's only because I care. It's not, kissing nobody's ass. It's not begging nobody to be their friend. Nothing like that. For me, I just prefer to have an understanding. I don't want to hold a grudge for nothing. And then it just depends on how you answer, how you respond. If you say, oh, it ain't no biggie, it ain't no problem, ain't nothing to it, but, then I'm steady watching you change, then deep in my spirit, I know it is something to it, and you just not woman or man enough to be honest. I think in the days that we're living in, I think people are fearful of being honest. Now, from where I'm sitting, I call it fake, just being fake. But some people just can't, and I hate to say keep it real, because people use that term all the time. Just keeping it real. I keep it real, honey. I'm real, and all of this. And they the main ones that's full of shit. But I would like to refer to it as being honest. If somebody puts you in an uncomfortable position to discuss you guys' relationship, friendship, whatever ship you're having, then I feel like, as uncomfortable as it may be, it's nothing wrong with being honest. If you hurt me and I tell you that you hurt my feelings and it pissed me off, then that's just what it is, and I'm being honest with you. And it's not, I don't see it as being aggressive or, being messy. I don't see it as trying to pick a fight. I don't see it that way. I guess people do. But for me, understanding is the best thing you could ever have. And you can only have understanding with communication. If you're not willing to open up and speak your truth, then I'm not sure we can have a relationship. Because if you can't be honest and truthful to me about what I did to you, or what I said to you, or how I made you feel, or how I pissed you off, or how I hurt you, then what is it for us to have? Because with any relationship, friendship, YouTube ship, whatever ship, it takes two. It takes two to make it work. One person can't do it by themselves. And because we're on a social media platform, I tend to have the mentality, well, I don't even know these people. I just don't give a shit. It don't matter to me one way or the other. And I really do feel like that. However, like I said, if we've been communicating, if we've been in contact, if you support, my channel or whatever, and you're in my chat and you hanging out and enjoying yourself, and I'm enjoying myself, then we do have something. And even though I may not have met you, maybe I don't know you from a can of paint, it doesn't mean that I don't have some type of feeling for you. Now, do I have feelings for everybody? Hell to the no. You get feelings from those people that give you those feelings. You see how it works? You were nice to me. You were supportive of me. You hung in there with me. So you made me feel like you gave a damn a little bit. So I give a damn a little bit. You give a damn a lot. I tend to give a damn a lot. But for some reason, people just will not be honest about their feelings. And I'll tell you something about ending friendships. Hey, Janice James. Good morning, baby. Happy Sunday. And I'm just chilling. I got up to go to the restroom. My stomach is toe up, child. And I've been up ever since. I've been trying to go back to sleep. But hell, I keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I figured I'd just hang out for a minute. I'll probably go back to sleep in a little bit. But, with YouTube ships, or Twitter ships, or Facebook ships, or whatever, it seems like people that tend to claim to be so strong and not worried about nobody else and just don't give a damn about these people on here. They don't move me. They don't do this. They don't do that. But then you watch a friendship fall apart. How do you watch it? Because if they bring it on the social media platform, you get a bird's eye view. If you are honest with somebody about how you feel, and they walk on your feelings, then, for the most part, the YouTube ship is probably over. But if we had a friendship, I'm not sure I could let social media break that up. I don't know. It's just me, and I'm an old enough type of bitch that I can just say fuck you and keep on moving. But it's not like that, It's okay to be compassionate. I don't say wear your feelings on your shoulder. Hell no. Because again, this is an entertainment platform where virtual people come and hang out. And the one thing about social media, it allows people to have anonymity. It allows people to become something that they're not. It allows people to be their true and evil self sometimes without people knowing who they are. And, we refer to those evil people that do it all the time. We tend to refer to them as keyboard gangsters because a lot of the things that people say and do on social media, they would not even consider doing if they was in your presence face to face. That's a fact. I just feel, I don't know. I just feel like, of course, friends come and go, and we use friends all the time so loosely. It should really be more like acquaintances. Acquaintanceships come and go. Nothing new. You don't acquire friendly feelings about everybody. You can get along with some people. You can enjoy hanging out with some people, and that's okay. But the more you hang out and you interact, you do acquire some kind of a ship. YouTube ship, friendship, associateship, acquaintanceship, whatever ship you want to call it. You do acquire some type of feelings for each other. And it's nothing serious. But I don't know. I'm one of those Sagittariuses that I like to be clear, It's people here on YouTube that I've gone to and said, hey, are we cool? Are we okay? I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you. I called you. I did this. I did that. And I've had people, no, ain't nothing wrong. Everything's okay. And I lost my phone and all of this. But we see you in other people's chats. I see you moving around. My people are reaching out to me, telling me you're reaching out to them. For what? Why do you want to engage in people that I rock with if you no longer rock with me? And then the next thing you know, you hear your enemy, somebody that don't like you for whatever their reasons are, their reasons, not yours. You hear them repeating conversations that this person done told them. But you wasn't woman enough to just tell me to my face. And I'm going to tell you something else. I had a ship that ended because of jealousy. And I'm not nobody to be jealous of. I may not be, your cup of tea. But hell, I'd rather be your shot of tequila anyway. But I notice that people, when you go to them and approach them straight up, heads up, about, lack of communication. I've noticed a change. We don't talk like we used to. I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you. I was worried about you. I was praying for you. When I'm honest and I spill my guts, then they just offer up a lie like, ain't no big deal. No, nothing. Everything's okay. My phone wasn't working, or I lost my phone, or this, that, and the third. And I don't know. And then just all of a sudden they pop about the blue yonder And they see that things are not like they were once before, and they get upset. They get bothered, and they go on a rampage. And then it makes me question, well, really, it sounded to me like they had some feelings in the relationship too. They did. They were invested as well. But if I did something to hurt you, be honest with it. And don't be jealous. Don't say, well, you was, doing all that praying for everybody else, but you weren't praying for me, and you weren't doing this and that other. You never know what somebody is doing for you. If I did it publicly, that meant I wanted everybody's prayers publicly, and I wanted everybody to know that I was missing you, that I cared. That's all that was. Just because I don't mention it publicly or don't ask other people to pray publicly, don't mean that I'm not praying for you behind the scenes. Everything ain't meant to be brought to the public. Everything doesn't belong in the public. Some things should actually be worked out in private. Now, when you find that person that wants to bring it to the public and let everybody know, you really have to question, why is it so necessary for social media to know? Half these people don't know each other, and the other half that do know each other don't give a damn about each other. Why does it have to be public? Are you seeking revenge by going public? Are you talking shit to other people, hoping that they would get upset and talk shit too? And I'll tell you something else. When you find a person that is interacting with someone that's upset with you or mad at you, and they're having conversations about you, that's your answer right there. You don't need to ask no questions. You don't need to wonder. You don't need to pray. You don't need to miss them. You need to see it for what it is. And that's a fake ass friend. And God don't like ugly. He ain't too particular about pretty. But you also will then understand why a person is going through something that they may be going through, or they're living the way they living. I haven't lived with my parents for many, 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 many years. I stayed through school. When I got out of school, I got pregnant, got married, and been on my own ever since. I came up here to take care of my mom, and I stayed with her while I took care of her. But as I saw how my family up here, how they act, and their lack of care, consideration, I had to back off a little bit. Because see, back home, my family don't let nobody get abused because they're old or elderly and don't have no kids or don't have somebody to take care of them. See, my family, my mama or my grandmother or my auntie and them could say something about somebody mistreating, my whole family will ride out. My family in Cali, not so much. I mean, and a lot of times, I grew up with, my people telling me your own family will dog you out before a stranger will. And I've witnessed that to be very, very true. Sometimes it's your own family, and most of the time it's always our own people. We can't never have nothing because we're so busy being envious and jealous of one another. And it's unfortunate. But I like to look at it as God's way of moving me, keeping me out of harm's way. He allows me to see bullshit for what it is, and allows me to keep sliding right on about my business, keep right on down the road, ease on down the road. Not a care in the world, because you know what? Number one, I haven't done anything. And number two, if I did do something, I came to you like a real woman and asked you. Now, it's up to you if you want to be honest about it and lie about it, but why lie? Why lie if we do it all behind the scenes? And anybody that is woman or man enough to express to me what I did or what I may have said, we talk about it. And for me, I move on. You either gonna forgive me, we're gonna go on, or you're not. And it's not something that I would bring to a public platform to tell the world, because we didn't get together in the world, in the public. So for me, it's no reason for us to fall out in the public. But I watch how easy it is for these people on social media to run around calling people their friends and their bestie and their sister and their this, that, and the third. But they don't carry themselves in a sisterly fashion or family fashion. Some people are just, I don't know. And then you got these people that blow in out of the blue yonder, loving on you out of the blue, and you're like, I ain't never seen them a day in my life. I don't know, like, why are they so attached to me? And I found out the hard way on social media that people will gravitate to you for a hidden agenda. I had a lot of people gravitating to me because of who I was affiliated with or associated with. And they act like, oh, they really like this, they like that, they really appreciate this, they appreciate that. And as long as me and that other individual were okay, they were okay. But as soon as that individual felt some kind of way, of course they were given instructions. So, what do you do with a follower? Somebody that is driven by another grown person's instructions. What do you do with people like that? You let them go. That's God's way of moving trouble out of your way, moving negativity out of your way, moving obstacles out of your way. So if you and one of your ships are not seeing it for each other, no need to bring it to social media. Let it be. Because when you bring it to social media and you hold on to it, it shows that you were the most affected by it and you can't let go. And that happens in real life. Yeah, I hate that part about social media. Yeah. And I saw a breakup and it brought back memories. It was like, if you can't have your way, you'll be angry and mad and vindictive. I saw that. I witnessed it. Sometimes people can see the truth and won't even admit what they're seeing. Sometimes people, it don't register to them because their comprehension is off. Their critical thinking is off. So sometimes it don't even register. But I tend to pray more. I've been praying a lot more since I hit that 50 milestone, that 50-year milestone, something that I got from my grandmother. They used to always pray. She said, you pray for your enemies. You don't wish no harm on them, because sometimes harm will come back and bite you. Hey, Bench Thinker, happy Sunday, baby. Wishing ill will and bad thoughts on people ain't good for you. It's called karma. It'll come back to bite you. It ain't a person in the world that I have any ill will towards. None. Now, it's some people that I just don't care for. I don't want to say that I hate them, because I really try not to hate anybody. Those type of people that I just really cannot stand, I really stay away from them. And you have those same people that sometimes you don't like, can't stand. They are so into you, so envious and jealous of you, that every time they hear your name, it triggers them. And they start talking their shit and telling lies. Because again, you don't know them and they don't know you. They may know of you. You don't feed into that. I don't. Why? Because that person is miserable. They are so unhappy, and they want you to be miserable and unhappy too. That's the way I analyze it and break it down. So, for somebody that doesn't like me, for somebody that doesn't care for me, for somebody that hates me so bad and always talking about me, I want them to remain miserable by themselves. I would not allow them to upset my everyday of happiness, my daily flow of euphoria. Because I'm so blessed. Every day that God lets me wake up, I'm so blessed. Whether my stomach ripping my ass up or not, I'm so blessed. I know I have flaws like everybody else. Nobody's perfect. We all have something that somebody don't like. We all do something that somebody don't agree with. We're human. We all supposed to be different, look different, act different, think different. All of the things. And God is the only one that has the power to judge us. But in the society that we're living in today, we are so judgmental of other people. It's really unfortunate. Very disheartening. And the way that people are so willing to go after people's children because they're so angry is unheard of. It's unheard of. You know, I'm still pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still pissed off about that baby from yesterday. You know, it's been on my mind. It was on my mind all last night. I woke up with it on my mind, and I thought about it. I said, you know, you did that video, and you said, where are the doxers? I offered up $50 for somebody to dox that poor baby's parents or guardians so that I could call CPS on them. Why? I'm not a person that calls the cops. I don't play games with the police. I damn sure don't call CPS. I'm not messing with nobody else's household affairs. However, what I can't stand by and watch is somebody hurt a child. I can't stand by and watch somebody attacking children. And to find out that those tattoos were not only very much real, but that baby was only 6 months old, that did something to me. And I'm not going to lie, deep in my spirit, I want CPS to take that child, remove that child from the home. If that was his daddy that was holding him with a mouthful of gold teeth and some shitty looking dreads, it explains a lot. My question was, I wonder where his mama is. Does she know his daddy got him down here at this tattoo parlor? Is one of the ladies that was holding the baby, is one of the ladies his mama? How is that allowed? It's impossible for that to be real tattoos. It hurts really bad, and it's illegal for minors to get tattoos. Well, when the man, I put the video up on my community wall, and when the man started to tattoo on his leg, he started crying, so it was obvious that it hurt. But if you think about it, Benj, the baby is only 6 months and his full body is covered, which meant y'all had to been tattooing him as an infant. And you know, for kids, well, I didn't have an experience like this as a child, but as an adult, with my knee, I went to get a gel shot. I don't know what the name of it was called, but they were giving me a shot directly into my knee. And the pain was so excruciating, I passed out. They had to bring me back with the smelling salts. They had to bring me back to consciousness with the smelling salts. So going through that experience made me feel like maybe when they were doing him earlier, in his younger state, that the pain was so excruciating that he passed out and went to sleep. And that's how they was able to get his whole body done. Also, Tech Guns Buzz No, it's paint. It's to get popularity, create controversy. The baby has no real tattoos. Well, Shula said they weren't real either, and I believed them. Um, and I hear what you're saying, and I don't know if they're real or not, but I didn't like what I saw in that video, and it's still bothering me. The pain lasts for days. That's what I heard, Binge. I don't have any tattoos, so I don't know. But I, like, my roommate is tatted like a mug. He just went and got a huge tattoo that was so huge they couldn't do it all in one sitting. And I think they were there for like 6 hours. So the man told him to come back at the end of the month, but then he ended up having a surgery, and he couldn't go back. So his tattoo is half done until he, is done healing from his surgery, and then he's gonna go back and get it finished. But I've heard some very scary stories about tattoos, and the one thing that was consistent in all the stories was that it hurt like a mug. Also, is it illegal? I would think it would be, for the amount of pain that a person goes through, but I don't know. I mean, my daughter, I pierced her ears at a year, but I took her to the mall, and they did it there. I remember when I got my ears pierced, my people took me to the doctor's office. That's who pierced my ears. Things have changed so much. I have tattoos. It really hurts, even days afterwards. I've heard that, Binge, and I've never wanted a tattoo. I'm dark skinned, so I've never thought tattoos would look good on dark skin, and even though they suggested putting them in other places that, are less painful, I just have never wanted tattoos. I have 4 holes, in my ears, but that's about the most of it. I ain't never wanted no tongue ring. I ain't never wanted no eyebrow piercing. I have never wanted a nose ring. None of that. Because hell, my ear piercings hurt so bad I didn't want to be pierced no more. I don't like needles as it is. I don't think it was real, but it wasn't. It was not funny by no means, Camille. It was not. Girl, when I tell y'all, I was so goddamn mad yesterday, I couldn't hardly see straight. And I was thinking to myself, if somebody would please, and I need to check my email this morning because it looked like I do have some new emails. I got 1,227 emails that I haven't read in my Gmail. And the only reason I'll go over there and check them is if the number goes up. So the number went up from yesterday, so I need to check it. But I did say I got to vet the information. I got to confirm that that's true to his parents. And if that's the case, I will call CPS and put a case on them and have no problem, giving them my real name and my information. Because it was really bothersome to me. It's illegal to tat anyone under 16. Oh, my goodness. And then I saw, it's been quite a few years ago, somebody was going to get tattoos and they took alcohol. And then I saw a video where they said alcohol intensifies the pain. You shouldn't drink when you're having tats. Okay, baby. So I just thought, society is stuck trying to follow the Joneses. Everybody want to be like the Joneses. Oh, tattoos are in season. Let's go get a tattoo. What do you want? Oh, I just want a little butterfly. No, bitch, you don't want nothing. You trying to follow what everybody else is doing. Go on up there to the variety store and get one of them little tattoo sticker things like the kids get and put it on and go on about your business. You only want to, where you want the people to see it, when you wear your bathing suit. And since you don't plan to get in the water, just use the sticker. No need to, And then I remember my family, when tattoos was coming out 30-some, 40 years ago, when they started getting, kind of famous, when they started picking up steam, rather. My people said, The Bible says your body is your temple, and you should not tarnish your temple, which means you should not be getting tatted up. You shouldn't be getting all these extra holes put in your body. You're supposed to, keep your temple pure. It's a lot of things we're supposed to do based on the instruction of the Bible that we don't do. A lot of things. So for me, it was like, don't use the Bible to try to deter somebody from, getting something that they want. The Bible says you're not supposed to eat nothing that walks with a hoof foot. That would be swine. They have hooves. We're not supposed to eat pigs. Look, that's the best food to eat. You're not supposed to have sex till you marry. I mean, it's a lot of things we're not supposed to do. I certainly got my last and most visible tat while drinking. That is the only one I regret. He was drinking binge. Nowadays, they go in there and smoke. I've never been one to want to keep up with the Joneses. Never. That never was my thing. Everybody else getting it, honey. I sure don't want none. Because there's got to be something to it. No one lives exactly by the script. Absolutely not, binge. Absolutely not. We all sin and fall short of the glory. But God is such a forgiving and merciful God. And I'm so, so blessed. So blessed. I just wish communication was more prominent amongst our people. I wish we could talk things out instead of getting mad and arguing and fighting and holding grudges and being, vengeful and vindictive. I just wish we could find a way to steer away from that and just, have open dialogue with one another without cussing each other out and doing all of the things. Jealous and envy, though, those are some crucial sins, and it can really wreck your spirit. I'm not jealous of anyone or anything. Do I have high hopes and wishes? Absolutely. I have wishes that I could lose weight. I had hopes that I could have my hourglass shape back that I used to have as a kid, but as a young person, a young woman. But them damn kids messed that up, and I don't regret it. I don't regret not one stretch mark. I don't regret not 1 pound, because I had 2 beautiful babies. And I don't regret anything. I had high hopes and high wishes that I could get my dream career that I grew up the majority of my life wanting to be, and that was an attorney. When it came time for me to go to college, go to school, and I was researching, what all I had to take to become an attorney, I found out that you had to go. I said, instead of being an attorney, it's going to take too long for me to become an attorney. You got to go to school, then you got to pass the bar, and you got to do all that. I'll just become a paralegal. But when I started to go to school for paralegal, the studies were so boring that I couldn't retain the information. When I would read case laws and sightings and different things, it was so boring. And I said, the real action is in the murder, is in crime. That's what a real action is. But who can really afford an attorney for crimes that they committed? Nothing but kingpins and gangsters and mobs and mafias. Now, there are some rich people that get into trouble, get caught up in the wrong thing, wrong place, wrong time, and they need a lawyer. But most of the time, criminal defense lawyers may not make a lot of money unless they're only representing, people that can afford to pay. So then I thought, well, being a criminal lawyer won't work because I want my money to be consistent. I wanted to roll in on a regular basis. So I said, well, criminal law is not it. Then I got to, I started researching, and I said, oh my goodness, there's tax law, there's foreign law, there's tort, there's different areas of law. But then I got, I said, I can't afford to go to college. So then me and my best friend said, you know what, let's go to the military. Let's buddy up, go on a buddy system. Let's go to the military and get Uncle Sam to pay for our college education. Yeah, let's do it. But then what happened? I had to lose a little bit of weight, and my friend didn't pass the written test. She passed the weight and not the written. I passed the written, but not the weight. And then, and at that point, at the time that we decided that, we want to go to school, we already had our first child. And, we would think, we set it all up, it's like, oh yeah, my family, they'll take care of the kids, We just, send the money to them. Yeah. And then that quickly faded out because I got to thinking, boot camp basic training is 6 weeks. 6 long weeks. Wow, I don't know if I can be away from my baby that long. But if I get to come home at 6 weeks, and before I get stationed or whatever, then that wouldn't hurt. So, we started working on our diet and our weight and going over the written part of the test so that we could try again. But then as we got ready to try again, my best friend fell in love and thought she was going to get married. While she was falling in love, I met the love of my life. Well, actually, let me take that back. Mine was first. It wasn't hers. I was already married. But, wait a minute, hold on. No. That was the second time. My bad. I'm getting confused. I mark it by the kids. She fell in love and wanted to get married the first time. And then the second time, I was already married, and, my husband was like, oh, I don't know if I can handle the baby by myself. And I was like, don't worry about it. We got, my sister-in-law gonna do it. My play sister, my stepsister, she gonna, take care of the baby, and he'll be right here in town with you, and y'all, you can still pick him up and do things, pick him up, drop it off. Yeah, life happened. Exactly, Benj. Life happened. We never made it. And of course, like a police officer, you can only become a police officer. They have an age, a ceiling, an age cap. 35, I think, or 36 is the oldest you can be to become an officer. And in the military, I think it's something similar to that. They have an age cap. You can only go in the military, up to a certain age. They don't want no old people just coming in. You can't pass all of the tests, first of all. You'd have to be very, very active, very youthful. Yeah. I always wanted to be an attorney. And then when I went to school, it was like, do you want to, what is your major going to be? And by the end, I was like, wow, attorney's not going to be it. So let me play around with a few majors and see. And I ended up wanting to be I ended up being a business major. I love accounting. Yeah. But we should really find ways to join together, stick together, work together. And at the rate we're going, that's the only way we're going to make it. I saw a video the other day of a woman, and I think she was a nurse, and she was trying to prove a point to her coworkers, and she told them, she said, we have been chipped. When they gave us the shot, they did chip us. And her coworker was saying, no way, it's impossible. And she said, well, I want you to use that gun and scan my arm where I didn't get the shot. And the lady scanned her arm. It was like a chip scanner, like what they scan these animals when somebody calls, animal control to come and get the stray dog or something. First thing they do is check for a chip. They scan the thing across the area where the chip's supposed to be put. So she said, scan this arm that didn't get the shot. The lady said nothing. She said, now scan this arm where I had the shot, and it gave back a serial number. And I thought, I love it when we go to the underground and we fact find, and then we come back to reality and somebody tests the theory and it's true. I love that. I love it. It just confirms that a lot of the information that we get is actual and factual. I remember showing a video where the man opened up one of the needles that were designated for the vax. And poop, he pushed the chip straight out the syringe. It came out the syringe. It was kind of scary. It was kind of scary. I was like, wow. And we out here laughing and joking, wondering why y'all trying to offer people millions of dollars and marijuana and all other kind of, incentives to get chipped up. If you have a friend, I'm going to say this in closing. If you have a friend, an associate, a ship of some kind with someone, if you care about them, be honest and ask them. If you don't hear from them, but they're not returning your calls, or they're not, coming around to visit, ask them. Did you do something? Say something wrong? Are they mad at you? That's you opening the door for them to be honest about their feelings. If they can't be honest with you about their feelings, they can't be honest with you about anything. And as I've said before, be careful who you hang around as company. Be careful with the people that you associate with, that you hang around, people that you include in your circle. Everybody's not meant for you. The bribe confirms why we should be suspicious. Absolutely, Benj. Absolutely. Because anything that's medically necessary for me, you gonna let it be known that it's necessary and going on about your business. It's gonna be up to me on whether or not I want to do it. And here's the deal. They've been trying to pass the law to make it mandatory to take it for a year, and it won't pass. But see, they just recircumvent the situation, and they're trying to, they're trying to set it up to where there's consequences if you don't take it. Like saying, when I went in the mall yesterday, I went to JCPenney's yesterday. Because, every weekend they be having a major sale in JCPenney's. I went in JCPenney's yesterday. And it was a sign on the door that said, if you have had both of your vaccines, you don't have to wear a mask. Okay. I had my mask on, but I pulled it down under my nose. I just wanted to see if anybody was going to ask me to pick it up. Nobody did. There were people in there that didn't have their mask on at all. I didn't put my mask on at all when I went into the restaurant. Some people are having some major issues with you not putting your mask on. Good morning, JB. We won't comply. Yep. Pretty much. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and say I witnessed it. I would be a mummy because I'm not taking. But no one can verify if the mask was somebody. No one can verify or confirm, Benj. Exactly. Exactly. But it is what it is. When I go out, I try to wear my mask regardless because I know that I'm going to be walking around people who have had it and they're shitting, and I don't want nothing. They're shitting on me. So that's about all I can do. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, check on your strong friends. Make sure they're good to go. And if you notice a change in your friendship, ask the necessary questions. Don't be afraid. Half the time they won't be honest with you anyway, but hey, all you can do is your part, and that's by asking. It's on them how they answer, how they react. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and, like I said, vent. The variant is more contagious. Oh, really, Benj? Girl. Yeah. Yeah. Anywho's, thank y'all for coming over. I appreciate y'all for coming and hanging. I just came over here to vent, trying to let my stomach calm down a little bit. So I think I'm in a position that I can maybe go back to sleep for at least an hour before I have to jump back up again. So thank y'all once more. Please give me a like on your way out. We appreciate it. And y'all have a blessed Sunday and take care.